Hey there, what guys? Welcome to our ZubiaLive broadcast. I'm here live in Los Angeles, and I'm going to be talking to Jessica May Tang in just a moment. We're going to be delving into stress and how you can take some of the stress out of your life. So I'm excited to find out some really great tips from Jessica. And then we're also going to do a live client assessment, and be talking to Jessica, and then we'll be figuring out what's going on in my life to take out some of the stress. Also want to note that April is also Stress Awareness Month, so it's a perfect time to talk about this topic. And I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there who are maybe facing some of the same problems between work and parenting and kids and commute and all that stuff. It's easy for stress to get in the way of your life. Anyway, I'm gonna set the camera down. And hopefully you can see Jessica. Hey.
So for those of you on Facebook Live, we are doing Christina's using her phone for the ZubiaLive app. So if you have any comments or any questions that you want to add, do your best and download the ZubiaLive app so you guys can interact with us in real time. And I'll do my best to look at the Facebook Live too, but we're mostly basing it off of ZubiaLive. Hi ZubiaLive people.
Okay, hey guys, hey everybody. Yeah, and again, for the people who are on the ZubiaLive app, there's a chat function at the bottom. We want to address all your questions and comments about stress and how to handle it and how to make your life better and easier. So please do drop them in the chat line. We'll be looking forward to taking a look at them. I think I'll save them to the end.
Sure.
But anyway,
do you want me to move the computer over? Are you okay?
I think we're good. So
okay,
we're kind of centered. Okay. So hey everybody, thank you for joining us. Christina Chan here. I'm your host for today. This is Jessica May Tang. In case for those of you who have not caught her previous broadcast with me, Jessica May Tang is the CEO of Damon Wellness Consulting. She's an ergonomics and wellness specialist based out here in Los Angeles. And Jessica provides group workshops, ergonomic assessments, and one-on-one health coaching. I'm going to just check the mic real quick because I know that one tends to drop every now and then. So we'll start with our quick little Q&A.
Sure.
So stress hits all of us in all of our lives, no matter what we're doing. There's so much going on. So what would be your top 3 tips for having less stress in our lives?
Sure. So as you guys may know, like what Christina said, I do a lot of coaching, and a lot of the coaching that I do surrounds stress. A lot of people have stress, and so they ask stress questions all the time. And so the way I approach it, I have these 3 top tips that seem to be the most effective for people. So number 1 is to breathe. Breathing just physiologically calms your entire stress level system down. And so when you are, a lot of us when we're stressed out, we don't breathe as deeply as you should be. And so you're breathing really shallowly. A lot of times you get pain in our neck and our upper shoulders. You're not breathing deep enough, and so you're only using these muscles up here to expand your chest. You're trying to lift your chest up to get air in instead of using your diaphragm to pull the air into your lungs. So using diaphragmatic breathing is much better than using chest breathing and your neck for breathing. Okay. So if you have any neck or shoulder problems, that could be another reason why you're having those. So again, breathing. The reason why breathing is so important is because when you're not getting enough oxygen into your system, your brain is not functioning, your muscles are not functioning, your focus and your ability to cope with stress goes way down. And when you have oxygen in your system, the reason why deep breathing works also is because when you're breathing in deep, you're actually giving your lungs enough time and your bloodstream enough time to grab the oxygen particles out of the air. Because our air is not all oxygen, right? It's a very, I don't remember the percentage, 30% oxygen? For those of you science people, you guys,
it's on there somewhere.
You can correct me on that. But it's a small percentage, and so you're sucking in all this air, whereas only a small percentage are oxygen molecules. If you don't give your body enough time to grab those, your bloodstream is just kind of circling around. So what ends up happening is that your heart ends up pumping faster to try and get all the blood cells carrying the oxygen to your brain, to your body, so that you can still function, just basically function. And when you're working, like for all of us working individuals, we have to do a lot more than just basic functioning, right? So in order to, when you're breathing in deep and you're giving yourself enough time, your bloodstream enough time to grab the oxygen out of the air, that's when you're really doing yourself some favors. You're lowering that stress level. You're increasing your ability to cope with stress when you Sorry, so that was really long. That was tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to consider the root cause of your stress. I don't think very many of us do that. I don't think enough of us do that. A lot of times we just notice that we're stressed and we just keep repeating the same story to ourselves. Like, I'm stressed out, I'm late for this, I'm late for that, or give me an example.
When you're trying to rush to get to an appointment and you're 15 minutes late.
15 minutes late, yeah. Right. Or you have so many projects on your plate and you're just trying to get them all done. But you're not really digging in deep to consider, wait, hang on. I know I have projects. I know I have this appointment. Why am I stressed out? I'm already late. What is the point of me having this stress reaction if I'm already late? Yeah. Right? Especially if you're driving, in LA traffic, if you're driving and you're stressed out, the risk of an accident just goes up, right? And that would cause more stress, right? Yeah. So why not calm down that stress response? You already know you're late. Just let it be. Just accept it. Yeah. With the projects, you're thinking about, I have these 10 projects that I know that need to get done. Why am I stressing out about it? Do all of them need to be done at the same time? Or is it just 1 or 2? Can I only just focus on 1 or 2 of the projects instead of all 10? Yeah. Right? Because when you think about all 10, it gets really overwhelming. And that's when you get that stress, right? So figure out why you're having that stress. Keep asking yourself why until you get to an answer where the answer is just because. So it's like, I'm stressed out because I need to finish this project. Well, why? Because my boss said so. Okay, well, why am I stressed out about my boss saying that I need to finish it? I'm trying to keep my job. Say, okay, well, why are you stressed out about keeping your job? Well, I need to put food on the table. Okay, so why are you stressed out about being able to put food on the table? Well, my kid needs to eat. Okay, why are you stressed out about your kid needing to eat? Yeah. So you just keep asking those questions until you get to the root cause, and then maybe you'll even find out that the root cause isn't really so much about needing to finish this project on time. It's really about paying more attention to the kid. Sure. You never know. Okay, so maybe that's the real issue. So sometimes doing this exercise is helpful. And then the third one is, this is a good one. Figure out what kind of support you need when you're feeling stressed out, and don't be shy about asking for it. Yeah. So sometimes a lot of us, I don't know, like I'm thinking about high school. High school pops up. In high school, when you complain about a professor, this is just what we did. We go to school, we all complain about the professor. We're stressed out about a project. We all go to school, we complain about it together. But then we think about it, if you think about it in your adult life now, does that still work for you? Right? In high school, we kind of did it for multiple reasons. We did it to belong, and we did it because we wanted to vent. We did it because venting was cool, whatever it was. We're trying to impress the cool kids, whatever. But now, does it still work for you? And you really have to consider, does the venting still work for you? Or do you need another kind of support? Do you need actually someone to just listen and you vent? Or do you need someone who can offer you a different perspective? I found that out. I used to really hang out with venters. Yeah. So that you just keep venting over and over and over again. And it's like 5 days past the event, and you realize, like, I don't care anymore, but this is what we're still talking about. Sure. And I want to belong, so I'm going to keep talking about it. What I ended up finding out about myself was that I actually really needed someone to give me a different perspective. So in the beginning, I needed someone to listen. Yeah. That's what my boyfriend is for, okay? So my boyfriend listens, okay? And then after that, I started asking for, hey, I need help seeing the other person's perspective so that I don't get so angry. What is the other person feeling? And we've gotten really good at giving that to each other now. And a lot of times we don't ask for that. We know what we need, but we don't ask for it. So that's another lesson too, is just ask for what you need. And those are my 3 tips. So the first one was breathe, deep breathe. Even hold it at the top if you need to, especially when you're feeling really anxious or frustrated or angry. When I breathe in and hold it at the top, give yourself enough time to suck in all that oxygen so your brain can actually process what's going on. The oxygen up there. Exactly. Without being like, let's tear my hair out. Okay, so breathe, deep breathe. The second one is consider the root cause of your stress. Really keep asking yourself why. It's a process, so you have to be committed to that whole process. So set some time apart, maybe at the end of the day, and figure out why you're stressed out. Just keep asking yourself why. Or maybe do it with someone. That's kind of fun too sometimes. You never know what can pop up. And number 3 was figure out what type of support you need and ask for it.
Perfect. Awesome. Actually, that brings me to something that I found that I wanted to share with you guys. So this is an article, probably can't say it, It's an article from Mindful, and I'm a big fan of meditation and meditating and mindfulness, and I do it pretty much every day if I can. So this has to deal with stress. So the first thing is a 4-letter acronym. So S is stop, which is the same thing we were talking about, stop what you're doing. T, take a deep breath, which is what we are into. Cool. Exactly the same thing. Observe, so take note, and then P, proceed with support. So
cool.
There you have it.
Now we have a cool acronym for it.
There you go. It's a way to remember now. Yeah.
Awesome. I wonder if I can see that. Can I see that?
Of course, definitely. Stop.
I love it. So it's so great.
It's an easy way to remember it. But so the next thing we want to do is get, I'm going to get, I guess, a client assessment about stress levels, because I definitely have stress in my life and would love to have less of it. Who doesn't want less of that? And Jessica's going to help me figure out how to do just that. So I'm going to let you take over, and I'm just going to be here sharing my stuff.
Okay, let's start with basic. Let's just talk about what's going on. Okay, so she told me a little bit about what's going on, but we'll just recap.
Okay, so basically, I just sort of feel like I'm juggling a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm a parent. I'm doing it mostly on my own. I've got some, he's almost 12. Got a household that I'm dealing with. Got repairs. Just like trying to figure out the whole thing, fitting it all in. Work projects, all that stuff. Classes that I'm taking. So it's really a lot to juggle in the end, and it's a lot of hours. And then you kind of figure, like, how much can you all do in one day and like still have a life? Mm-hmm. So for me, it's that's stress, right? How do you deal with that? How do you make it better?
So let's see. Let's narrow it down a little bit. I'm gonna have you pick. Can you narrow it down to one stressor? Let's narrow it down to today. What was one thing that caused that stress reaction for you today?
Honestly, I think I feel exhausted. Like, I'm juggling a lot. There's always something else to do.
Yeah.
And I always feel like there's always so much time to do it.
Yeah.
And then so I guess then it becomes a matter of prioritizing. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot.
There's things to do, right?
Yeah.
So it almost feels like you're and I know someone else actually talked to me about this this week, but it almost feels like you're writing to-do list after to-do list, and they just never get done, right?
Sure. I mean, it's always ongoing,
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff with work, there's stuff with your life, and you have to like put it all together.
Right.
And so inevitably, then it becomes stressful. So
right. Yeah. So it sounds like you have a lot going on in your life, mm-hmm. and being a single parent, working, running a household, that's all a lot. Is there anything in there that you can cut down on?
That's a good question. I think it's really paring down what my priorities are and what I spend time on. So that's something to look at.
Okay, so if you were to prioritize just today's activities, what would it be?
Definitely this interview.
Okay.
Important.
Okay.
Getting everything together with that, and then I have some upcoming assignments. The deadlines are far enough away that I can probably put them off a bit. I think spending some time just not always constantly in the work mode.
Yes.
Is probably a good idea.
And we talked about this before we went on live too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take you through something. Can I do that? Okay, I'm gonna have you sit back. And this is just an extension of the breathing that I talk about. Okay, so I'm gonna have you cross-legged? Yeah, be comfortable. Whatever makes you comfortable. Okay. So then,
nice. See, it's my meditation mode, everybody. Here I am.
So close your eyes. Take a couple deep breaths. And you're inhaling oxygen. And imagine that you're inhaling guidance too. Whatever that means to you, whatever that looks to you. Inhale guidance and exhale stress. Inhale guidance, exhale, release, and relax. So what this exercise is doing, I'm basically asking you to look inside yourself and figure out what needs to happen next. Just next. What's the next thing that needs to happen for you to be infinitely closer to a stress-less life?
I think this is, I mean, that's something we kind of talked about a little bit before.
Yeah.
I think it's just taking a couple days and just being, like I don't have to worry about like phone calls, emails, what am I going to do next? Where am I going to, work on my next project?
Wonderful.
So just taking a couple days and just.
Okay. Yeah. And how are you feeling about that? So so we kind of did a little bit of this before. So, I mean, when you're doing this on your own, please take your time with it, okay? Take your time, breathe, and really listen and really see if the stuff that's coming to you is feeling aligned to you or not. You're going to know whether it feels right to you or not. Okay, so before we went on live, we talked to, Christina talked about needing to take a break. And so now we're kind of talking about resistance. You're having a little bit of resistance towards it, right?
Towards taking the break?
Taking the break for a couple days. Like,
yeah, I mean, you feel like you constantly need to find the next thing and figure out what you're doing and like all that stuff, So, yeah, there's always kind of this need to constantly check off that to-do list. And then when that list, as it gets checked off, there's more
stuff, right?
Yeah,
okay.
It gets added on.
and guess where? So this is a mindset thing now, right? Now we're talking about mindset. So where do you think this mindset came from that you're constantly needing to find out what's next?
God, that is a really good
To
question.
write more on that list.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I have to think about that one. Yeah, I guess it's this kind of idea that you always have to be prepared and think about the future, which I do think is a good thing. But then I guess the question is, how do you frame that so that it doesn't become this kind of like, I'm this hamster on this little wheel.
Yes.
Going and going.
Right. So I can tell you, I have the same thing. Okay, I had to deal with the same thing. I think it's something about childhood. Okay, we're both. Are you Chinese?
Oh yes.
We're both Chinese.
Have that upbringing.
Yes, we both have had Chinese upbringing. My dad was really big on being productive, and I know you guys who have watched my videos, you guys know I talk about this all the time about like having that. I call it bullshit. I'm sorry, it's from a book. It's called bullshit rules. So they're rules, okay? So one of the rules that I found that in a lot of Chinese cultures that we carry on is that we have to constantly be productive. We have to constantly be working on what's next without asking ourselves inside, what is really next, right? Like when you were growing up, were you ever asked to like really consider like, okay, what's next for you?
No,
or were you told?
Do.
You just do, right?
Like,
I was told. I was straight up told. Like my parents would be like, my mom would be like, here's the routine. This is what you need to follow, right?
Do it.
You can just do it. If you don't want to get yelled at, you just do it, right? And so I have this obsession of constantly knowing or constantly just adding more things to the list so that I wouldn't have this fear of being, not having approval or whatever, right? So that's a mindset that you've carried on since childhood, since cultural upbringing.
Sure.
Is that something that you still want to keep, where you just keep adding to the to-do list?
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So what kind of mindset do you want to replace that with?
That's a good question. I mean, really, I think there's room for planning ahead and there's room for seeing where you want to go. But I think it's just sort of reassessing like how you go about it and how do you best spend your time so that it is productive in a way that doesn't make you feel like you're constantly
trying.
Yeah.
Okay. So the whole goal that I've been talking about this for a little bit is just being at peace. Okay, to live your life with more peace is my ultimate life goal, right? It'd be nice. That's basically what we want. A lot of us say that we don't want stress, but what we really want is just to live a peaceful life. We still want to achieve our goals and be ambitious and all that, but we want to be peaceful while doing it, right?
Sure.
And who knows the answers as to like what's the path to get there? Who knows the answers to that?
I think if I look deep down, I should be able to figure that one out.
You do. Yeah. Just like how I heard this on a podcast this morning, but just like how when you walk down the street, when you were kids, you were told don't talk to strangers, right? But now as you get older, you know that there are strangers and you were gonna talk to them, right?
Sure.
You don't talk to, say, 4 people over and over again. Okay, so when you walk down the street, do you get a sense of who you want to smile and say hello to and who you don't?
Yeah, because you can get a sense of how people are, at least on some level.
And that's your gut.
Yeah,
that's your gut instinct. And very few of us have learned to trust that gut instinct. So the meditation of tuning in and taking some breaths and really asking yourself or asking for guidance, if you believe in, like spirit, if you're a spiritual person, ask for guidance from someone a little bit outside of yourself. But really, it's tuning into yourself. It's tuning into your intuition, your gut feeling. And you'll know the answers will come to you, just like how the answer of taking a break for the next couple of days came to you.
Sure.
Okay, so now it's more about taking away, replacing that mindset of like constantly having to add more stuff to your to-do list and really listening to this gut instinct that tells you you need to take a break. So what do you think?
I like that idea.
I
gotta go with it.
Do you feel like you're really going to take a break for the next few days?
Well, I do have a couple of things on my list I need to do, but yeah, I think I can definitely take a couple of days off and just sort of be sit with it.
Yeah, and be present. Also, being present when you're taking a break is also very important. Because a lot of us, we have so many distractions, Facebook, Netflix, TV, whatever, and those aren't, it's a break as long as you're being intentional about it. Okay, so if you're saying, I'm going to watch Netflix right now because this is what my body and, scratch myself, what my body and my brain needs right now, okay? If you're intentional about it, that's great, do it. Yeah. I'm learning now that for me, my intentional breaks all has to be meditation. Really just tuning into myself. Because I think we were talking about this one time that we both have very similar backgrounds where we were always told what to do and we always did it. So much so that now that we're adults, we don't know who we are and what we want.
That can happen very easily when you're surrounded constantly by this is who you are, this is, down to like what you should think and, all that stuff.
Yeah. And
it is very easy to lose a sense of yourself.
Yeah.
And so I think it's pulling back from that and really kind of looking inward and saying, wait a minute, like how do I feel about all this? Like what do I, who am I?
Yeah.
And all of this.
And then having the courage to actually stand up for yourself. Yeah. But that's another talk for another day.
Yeah, that can go in a whole other direction.
Topic.
But yeah, definitely I think that is something that it's difficult to do.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
You ready to take that couple-day break?
Heck yeah. Where's the beach? Okay. So I think we have a couple questions.
Yeah?
So
Okay, we'll want to see what people have to
see.
say. Okay.
Carmelo said, breathing is definitely underrated advice.
It's fun. Well, it's funny, the whole breathing thing. It's like we take it for granted, but it's like the basic sustenance we need to be alive. And when we're stressed, it like we get all constricted, right? And it affects us physically. Yeah. So breathing is important.
Definitely.
Living healthy says looking great. Sound and video perfect. Yay. Because sometimes it's difficult. Happy Life wants to know about exercise. What about that? That helps me de-stress, which
Totally.
I totally do.
Yes. Yeah. So exercise, what does exercise force you to do? When you're exercising, it forces you to breathe.
Yes.
Yeah, exercise is I didn't list meditation as one of the tips because a lot of people shy away from meditation. They think that it's literally just they think it's that. Okay, but any form of movement or any kind of thing where you're really just tuning into yourself and your body and your thoughts and your you can call it your soul, whatever, that is a meditation. So exercise is really you paying attention to your body. When you are running, maybe you are not paying attention so much to your body, or at first you are, right? So you get into a certain kind of rhythm, and then you're focusing on your thoughts and you're trying to sort out and process whatever is going on in your life. That's why a lot of people find exercise very de-stressing. It's because of this. So breathing, and also it's moving meditation. That's basically what exercise is.
Definitely. And exercise, I don't know all the physical components, but it releases endorphins.
Yes.
Also.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Absolutely. Happy hormones.
Happy hormones. So yay for that.
You're so right. Keeping off the phone and email distracts periods every day is so helpful, and having a healthy diet. Definitely. That's another component.
For sure. Yeah. There's so many stress relief tips out there. Literally, it can get overwhelming, and I get that. So a lot of times it's tuning into yourself and really considering, hey, I heard this stress tip from this interview with Christina and Jessica today. Do they fit for me? Do they work for me? Is this something that I even want to try? You know the answers. Your gut feeling will tell you whether those are the right choices for you or not. So some people really like to sit and meditate. I like to do that. Some people really like to do moving meditation. So they do yoga, they exercise, they run. That's how they meditate. So you really have to consider, I mean, there's so many tips out there. We could literally go on for hours. There are stress management workshops that go on for like weeks, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a huge topic. Consider and dig into yourself and consider what works for you. Don't subscribe to anybody else's, like this is what you should do for de-stressing. Figure out what works for you.
I definitely like that. I don't think there's necessarily like a one size fits everybody. There's definitely differences for sure. So
okay. Oh, and the email.
Cool. Did you?
The email and the phone. No, I just forgot to address the email and the phone. Oh. So email and phone for sure. What happens when you look at your email and your phone? What happens when you look at your email and you see an email you don't like? It triggers a stress response, right? So that's a moment for if you have the energy, the mind power, and you've done your breathing, and you can actually process why this certain email is causing you stress, and keep doing that exercise of really boiling down why you're getting that stress with that email. Okay, another way to even just avoid it is don't look at your phone before you go to sleep. Don't look at it the first thing you wake up.
I gotta stop that, people.
Yeah. Set email autoresponders for your email, especially if you have a job that doesn't require you to be an email 24/7. And a lot of our jobs don't require that unless you're tech support or customer service or something. Set an email reminder that tells people, or autoresponder, that tells people, I only check mail at 10 a.m., at 1 p.m., and at 3 p.m. at the end of the day. So know that I am still going to check my email. If it's an emergency, you can reach me at this number. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, you will not get a call, which tells you that 9 times out of the 10 emails that you receive are not urgent. They're not as urgent as you think they are. So you're stressing for nothing.
Awesome. Perfect. Do we have any more comments and questions, guys? Because we'd love to take them if you have them. I think we've covered it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good. I hope you guys enjoyed this.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for joining us, everybody. De-stress with ease. So we want to knock that out of our lives. We want to cover breathing. Yeah. So
yes.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna go more into breathing next time.
Yeah. So next time, join us for more in depth about breathing and how that affects your life and how it can make it better when you tune into that. So thank you everybody for joining us. Till next time.
Bye. Bye.